Hello everyone, if you're here, it means you like Dr. Myles Munroe. Our job here is to share his messages. Today, we are talking about his message on the advantages of being single. Singleness is more important than marriage, that's why God did not create a married person first. Most times people prioritize their relationships with others rather than with themselves, because they think it's most important, but that's not true. You must learn to value yourself, be happy with yourself, and then your relationship with others will be great. Because if you can't work on your interpersonal relationship, you will not be able to work on your interpersonal relationship. God didn't create a couple, He created Adam and then He created Eve. He started with the most important component, which was a single human. Singleness is the foundation of all human relationships. There is no human experience that is more traumatic than divorce. Dr. Myles Munroe says that divorce is the ultimate tragedy of relationships. It is the most traumatic experience on earth. It is the death of a relationship. Divorce is worse than physical death because you don't get to see these persons anymore after you have put them in the grave. But with divorce, every time you see this person, whether in a gas station or in a bus or a store, your feelings resurrect and all that anger and rage comes right back. That's why God hates divorce and not death. It is better to be alone in your apartment and be angry at the world than to be with someone in the house that you want to kill. Dr. Myles Munroe describes divorce as death without burial, and no one wishes to experience that. Some people get married because they want to escape loneliness, but they must be aware that getting married for the wrong reasons is the worst thing that can happen, because divorce is impossible without marriage. So getting married for the wrong reasons is preparing for a divorce. Marriage is a prerequisite for divorce, and singleness is a prerequisite for marriage. You cannot be married unless you are an individual, and you cannot experience the divorce unless you are married. Your marriage is only as good as your singleness. Whatever you are as a single person, that is what you bring to the altar. Your marriage is not better than your singleness, because marriage doesn't improve your singleness or your lack of it, it exposes it. For example, no one knows that your feet smell, or that you can't cook, or you can't clean when you are alone or single, but when you are married, all of your defects are exposed. You can never know everything about a person until you marry them. You can only know everything about yourself, but of course, you can't marry yourself. Drive. Myles Munroe says, when you think of marriage, think of distortion, because you will discover things that you don't know about your partner, but you have to bear with it. Because instead of complaining every time or expecting your partner to be the one to change when you have your own defects, then you are heading for doom. Try every day to be the best version of yourself and leave the rest to God in your prayers. Another advantage of being single is that you can only bring into your marriage what you are as a single person, so stop over concentrating on marriage. Concentrate on developing yourself so that when you meet the right person, you will be prepared for marriage. Because whatever you are, that's exactly what you will take into your marriage. Stop blaming your partner, or concentrating on fixing your partner. You are your own problem. Fix yourself first and leave the rest to God. Only then your relationships or your marriage will succeed. The myth of singleness is that it's okay to be single, but it's not good to be alone. Adam was busy working and he never knew he needed someone until God said it wasn't good for him to be alone and created Eve. Never confuse singleness with being alone, because relationships get better the more single you become. Singleness is a state to be pursued, not avoided. Most people are running away from singleness instead of running towards it. Dr. Myles Munroe recommends that people should run towards singleness, because the more single you become, the safer it is for your partner. Dr. Myles Munroe says we have to correct the myth that singleness is wrong and that we need to solve singleness by getting married. We push people into getting married for the wrong reasons. That is wrong. To be single should be the goal of every married person, because singleness increases the value you bring into the relationship. The more single you become, the more valuable you are to your partner. When you are not single, you become a burden, a parasite, a leech, and a deficit to your partner. But if you are single, you develop ideas and work to support your partner. You don't need marriage first, you need yourself first. The first man on earth was so busy with his work that God saw that it wasn't good for him to be alone. God knows that you need a partner, so you do not need to be crying every time that you need a partner. Preferably use the time to prepare yourself so that when that person comes, you have something to offer him or her. Do not settle for less. You are a complete 100% person, so when God gives you someone, he or she should also be 100%. If a person does not change to get you, he will not change to keep you, so do not rush into something you are not sure of. Get someone who can inspire and uplift you to a better person than what you are now. Do not try to change others, you change yourself for the better, and let God help you to change your partner. Thank you for watching. We hope you've been blessed by this video. If you felt encouraged, please share with others who might equally find it encouraging. And also subscribe for regular updates.